Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. JTrain, Jared Freid, coming live from the West Village of Manhattan. That's right. Every Monday we're here with your emails, your stories, your questions. And I say it every episode, but let me say it again. I got to reiterate it today especially because it's a special day here on the JTrain podcast. It is our first episode from the brand new, shiny, new, the brand spanking new Feather Nation Studios. And that's right. What does that mean for you, Mr. or Mrs. Listener? We're going to have full episodes on YouTube every single episode. Every week, Monday, you're going to get JTrain on YouTube. You can watch it, see the facial expressions, meet the guests. You're going to get it on Thursday, Luxury Lounge. All the complaints are going to be had in the lounge on YouTube. You're still going to get the great podcast you have, but I'm going to have my guests in person with me. I'm hoping you're going to feel the vibe. I'm hoping you're going to feel the energy. Let me start by saying this is a work in progress. You look behind me, the background is just a plain white wall. We're going to zhuzh it up. We're going to figure this out over time. We're going to have lighting maybe or a decorative piece. I don't know. But we want to hear from you, the listener, the watcher. What do you want out of this? What do you like? What do you not like? I think you can be critical and not be mean. There's a reason for criticism to get better. And I want this to be as good as humanly possible because this was a decision. I made a decision. Let's tape in studio. Let's get off of Zoom land. Let's start bringing in the guests so we can get that high energy JTrain podcast that you know and love. So how do you guys help? One, subscribe to the YouTube channel because I got Shelby. And for those, OKP listeners, original key players, Shelby's back in studio. Shelby, say hello to your fans out there.
What's up?
There it is. That energy, that rat-tat-tat, back and forth. Shelby, it's like we haven't left each other from day one. That is what it's about. So Shelby's back at Classic Shelby. Go follow Shelby on all the platforms. But I'm back in studio with my guests. And if you want your email read on the show, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. That's the same as it always has been. jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Let me bring on my guest. Very excited. An OKP themselves. Original key player. Hilarious comic, Alison Leiby. Thank you for coming on.
Hello. I was like, when do I come in here? Because I'm here. Yes. Like usually when we do this over Zoom, I zone out for this part. Checking emails. Okay. I'm doing other stuff. I know when you're going to kind of bring me in and I can be like on. And like this, I'm just like staring at you. And I want to chime in, but I also don't want to be like, who's in the room with him?
Right? Yeah, no, isn't this exciting? I had to bring you on. I had to bring on someone who the audience loves, that I love, that knows the show.
It's thrilling to be in a state-of-the-art space like this. This is, truly. I mean that sincerely, but a little as a
beautiful studio. There's a bike in the kitchen.
That's a bike in the kitchen. Good. Yeah. That just reminds me of when I saw it, I was like, who's on... I thought maybe it was the other guest that was here before because once Greg Stone, who is not who it was, did one of my shows and he rode a city bike and he was so late he just brought the city bike on stage with him because he couldn't find a place to park it. And it just
like he's Pee Wee Herman on his great adventure.
He just brought it on, not even just like into the green room. He brought it on stage with him, and we were like, "You could just leave it like in the lobby of UCB. Like they'll be chilled. No one's gonna take it." Like,
Greg, you also know you're still paying for this,
right?
This is an hourly.
Yeah,
just park it.
Park it. He couldn't find a place, and I was like, "You're late, but like also if you can't make it, just don't come or whatever. I don't really care." And he was like, "No, I got it. Don't worry about it."
Now, Allison, I'm so happy to have you here. In the Feather Nation studio. This is very exciting. Shelby, you can feel the energy.
I feel like this white wall needs the Andy Warhol 4 neon color faces of you.
Oh,
or
now
like
we're cooking. Shelby's shaking you off a little bit.
No, he doesn't like it.
But that's okay.
That's all right.
We write to edit.
There are no bad ideas.
No bad ideas. Every idea is to get to the best idea.
Exactly.
So, but I do think something should be done. I think we're going to figure that out.
It needs a good neon sign.
Something.
Yeah.
People, if you want to be a part of JTrain Podcast, email in jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. Before we get into anything, Allison has some very exciting news. Your show is going to do... You have to explain to people what this is. Because I don't think... I don't think you listen to the JTrain and you know how the theater world... Yeah, the theater world works. You are...
Nor do I.
I mean, you're getting involved in the theater world.
The
major
world of theater, I do an hour show, like an hour. It's a stand-up show called "Oh God," a show about abortion. Which, like, I get it. It's a polarizing title. That is the point.
That's the point. Bring them in.
That is what it's about.
Get the eyes. Catch the eyes.
A very fun, light, non-trauma porn story.
I have seen it. It's great. It's fantastic. It is a real world talk about abortion.
Yes.
It is not about trying to change people's minds or point of
political.
Views. It's not political.
It is because
the subject's
inherently
political.
it's incredibly political.
But it's not. You're not up there stomping.
I'm not telling you any facts or political information or statistics or anything. I'm just saying, like, hey, this happened to me. Here's what it was like.
Yes.
I mostly was annoyed by little things and found it all very funny, and it worked out for me because I am a straight, white, cis, rich woman in a blue state, and it's not for everybody, but that is the story, and it is
Listen,
fun,
I am... Some have referred to me as the relatable king.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I've heard, some do. Some, not all. This is what I would call this is a relatable story about abortion.
Yes.
That if you're out there, whether you've gone through that, whether you haven't, whether you're, just someone who likes to laugh, you're going to enjoy this show.
Mostly just laughs. There's a little bit of talking about, just some stuff about being a woman that's stressful and annoying, and it's all with a positive and funny, I hope.
It's definitely funny. It was written up in the New York Times.
New York Times wrote about it.
Like, that's like a huge, huge, huge deal.
Yeah.
But also because of the New York Times, because of the big, and I like to think because of the heat that was created by the JTrain podcast.
Yeah, all my appearances on this show have actually been driving me towards having a 6-week run at the most prestigious off-Broadway theater in New York City.
There it is.
Cherry Lane Theater.
Cherry Lane Theater, a 6-week run. People, you guys don't understand how cool of a thing this is. Like, people, like...
Huge names that other people actually know that are not me have done runs of their shows at this venue.
So we want people to go.
Yeah, it's produced by Alana Glazer, Broad City. Who doesn't
people,
love her?
If you're listening right now and you're going, ooh, like someone just
somebody
did,
perked
ooh,
up.
Yeah,
somebody
someone
just perked
perked.
up.
Yeah.
They were like, yeah, bitch.
Yes. So give us the dates. How do they get tickets?
April 25th through June 4th. You can get tickets. It's Oh God Show. So Oh God, a show about abortion. So ohgodshow.com. You can get tickets there. They're discounted tickets for the first 10 days, I believe. They're $25.
Okay.
Very reasonable for theater.
Yes. And here's the other thing I say. Cherry Lane, West Village, right?
West Village. Not far from here.
Right around the corner from here.
You're in the theater district.
I am in the theater.
You're in the off-Broadway theater district.
I'm an artist that lives in the West Village.
You belong there.
Cherry Lane in the West Village, go to like a nice bar, like make a night of this.
Make it a night.
This is like...
The show is at 7. It's an hour long. You're done by... You could do light dinner. You can do early drinks. You can really make it a thing. It's going to be springtime. It's going to be so nice out.
It's going to be the sexiest abortion-themed night of your life.
Yes.
Because... and I'm not even saying that.
No, it's genuinely true.
If you're living in New York City or if you're going to visit, this is the perfect thing. And also if like you're like... I'm dating this guy. I think he's cool. What a way to suss out a dude.
Yeah.
Is he into this type? Even with whatever, Mormons liked the Book of Mormon. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So
again, no one who's just, if you absolutely hate the right for women to have abortions, you won't like the show. You just won't. But you won't like a lot of there's you would actually like most of it, but you just won't like this one part of it where I say that it happened. But it's no one is going to walk away like, oh, that was intense. Like everybody walks away being like, that was a really funny hour, and women are like, thanks for saying some stuff I really wished I could say out loud.
There it is. And this is kind of what's so interesting and why the show is so good. What you just said, the things we liked, we talk about in a group chat that we trust. The things you talk about with a friend over drinks or a glass of wine. The fun conversations you have that you go, if this was on the internet, I don't know what would happen, even though nothing would happen. It's like,
we're people.
I mean, Will Smith, Chris Rock, I got into it on Coffee with JTrain last week. If you want to subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Jared Freid for $5 a month. But I talked about how it was so strange that story... When you talk about it with people, you go, I think we're all on the same page. Yeah. And then you get into this internet world and you're like, wait a minute, how did this story get infiltrated by everyone's points they're trying to make?
Every single person's perspective and issues they want to talk about, like, landed on this story and, like, pulled a part of it. And it's like, I don't know.
I think
enough.
I mean, and so it's just, so what I love about this is like, okay, this is like, listen, if you're a fan of the Patreon, this is like going on to hearing a story on a Patreon where you can trust the audience and you're in the theater. So again, Cherry Lane, give the dates again.
April 25th through June 4th.
Oh God Show.
ohgodshow.com. You can get tickets.
A great night with a girlfriend. A great night with the guy you're seeing.
I'm going to make a pitch.
Please.
Single Men of New York. You know where there's a lot of single women who aren't really eager to have your kid?
The abortion show.
They're chill.
Listen, I'm going to be there at the front door.
Yeah, you should just be waiting.
I'll be ripping tickets.
Yeah, you could work there.
I'll definitely be
a place
at the
to
show.
meet women.
I agree. I'm like,
I've been trying to tell men that. I'm like, you have no, every time I've done it, kind of not, in the theater run, but like at Union Hall or like around the city, like it is chock full of like cool women having some wine, having a laugh, not taking their lives too seriously. It's great. It
is interesting because I get that compliment from comedy clubs, and I get it like repeat. And you've been at shows of mine.
We've been there.
So they go, wow, we like, because drunk white women are really not liked in the comedy world. Mm-hmm. A lot of it because they end up being the person at the show who yells out and interrupts, and then ends up crying because you made fun of them because they interrupted. It's a really bad thing.
Yes,
but the women that come to the shows that I put on are not that cliche at all. And I would say it's going to be the same person that's at your show.
Same kind of
where
personality.
It's like, we're fun. We want to have a fun night. We don't have to talk about. It doesn't have to be.
We're not trying to have a debate over anything. We just want to come laugh at this stuff that kind of sucks.
Yes.
And look, if there's some men around and you all go to a bar afterwards, I'm not saying you're not going to get laid, but these women fuck.
Yeah. I love it.
That's my pitch. The marketing team was not on board.
Yeah, go follow Allison on Instagram. Go at Alison Leiby on Instagram. I'm Jared Freid. We're here every Monday in the JTrain podcast. Keep sending your emails, jtrainpodcast@gmail.com. We'll get to the emails. We are in studio, Feather Nation Studios.
I'm loving this.
Isn't this
I'm
great?
loving the vibe.
The vibe's good. We're going to get to the emails. Before we do, we're sponsor people. Let's make that dough. The JTrain podcast is thrilled to welcome our new sponsor, Daily Harvest. Okay. I know Daily Harvest. I love what they do.
Yeah.
I am a big proponent of snacks, of meals that have a beginning, middle, and end, and healthy, make you feel good. That's what Daily Harvest is all about. And at the end of an endless day, the last thing I want to do is cook dinner. But when your fridge is empty, that urge to order in and skip the cooking happens all too often. Thanks to Daily Harvest, my freezer is fully stocked with delicious, nourishing options that are delivered right to my door and are ready in minutes. Daily Harvest has delicious options for every meal and snacks and desserts. That's
what levels it up from some of the other services.
Totally.
They're all just here's 3 meals. And it's but I eat in between meals.
Yes. And I don't want a full meal. The way I have a breakfast in the morning, I have a bar, and then I have dinner.
I know your bars.
I love a bar. But I think, I just think with Daily Harvest, they have shakes that are ready to make, and you don't have to go and, you know how hard it is to keep up a shake lifestyle?
I can't.
You're buying fruits. For one person, if you live on your own, that's you want. How many bananas can you take down in a week? You ain't doing it. That has been said on many porn sets.
Yeah. That's
so how many bananas can you take down in a week?
And also at Brazzers. Those are the two places that sentence gets said.
With Daily Harvest, I never have to question the food I'm eating is good for me. And by supporting farmers who invest in practices that increase biodiversity and improve the health of our soil and delivering foods and recyclable and composting packaging. So they're doing all this good so you can feel good about what you're putting in your body. Daily Harvest does the work, so all you have to do is eat. Okay, avoid takeout temptation and get Daily Harvest. Go to dailyharvest.com/JTrain to get up to $40 off your first box. Wow, that's a
good discount.
That's real cash. That's dailyharvest.com/JTrain for up to $40 off your first box. Dailyharvest.com/JTrain. Allison Leiby's here. You ready to do some emails?
Let's do some emails.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com.
Wow, printed out paper and everything.
Podcast.
We're really live, brick and mortar.
This is how it's going down. If you're on YouTube, I'm looking right into your eyes. Aren't you happy to be here? Isn't this fun? Look at Allison's looking at you. I'm looking at you.
I'm watching you.
We're watching.
You're watching us.
I'm watching us. You're watching me. This is a beautiful thing.
I love it.
This is okay.
We're back, baby.
We're back, Jared. I'm a 31-year-old woman who's been looking for a serious relationship over the past 6 months.
Okay.
See, this is very female to me. The
Being a 31-year-old woman,
yes.
I think so.
I'm like, well, I've been looking for 6 months.
Yes. It's like shopping.
It's like shopping.
I've been hunting for a new armoire. I've gone to all these places. It's been since December.
I'm taking this seriously. I will tell you, that sentence reads as gibberish to me.
Okay.
The idea of like every guy, and this is why a lot of women get like, I think, stressed out about dating, because the guys are just on there going, of course I'm looking for a relationship.
Sure.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
And along the way,
whatever happens,
we're just chilling.
Yeah.
So I understand, so let's just start that her perspective is way different than maybe the people she's trying to go.
I will say that it also is a modern, you can only really mark I've been looking for 6 months in a way because it's probably when you joined an app.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if before app life, people talked about things in this way, but definitely since the apps evolved, like this is, because you could tell, when did I take it seriously and sign up?
That's very funny. And again, I want people to know, if you're
That's
listening.
That's your onboarding start date.
Exactly. But it is so foreign to me as a dater.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's like the idea of a hoe phase.
Yeah, right.
I've been in a hoe phase.
Living in one.
The minute I was like, that's a penis? You know, like
we're off.
We're off. There it is. So I have come across the same dating patterns with about 5 men, all from the app. So you're right, Allison. They seem very mature, say they're looking for a relationship.
Very mature or immature?
They seem very mature.
Okay.
They say they're looking for a relationship. Again, what I just said. They make plans for our first date. It goes well, and they ask to see me again. They text like crazy. We have another date, and then once I'm the one to show initiative to make either the third or fourth date, they hit me with the I'm not feeling anything amazing between us. Their actions leading up to this make me think they are really into me, which leaves me feeling confused and discouraged. My question is, how do men genuinely know so early on? I've been in long-term relationships where I was a little unsure about the connection at first. However, once I spent more time and actually got to know the person, the relationship grew into something great. In my recent experiences, I haven't even had a chance to figure out how I feel about them before they ended. It's also starting to make me think I'm doing something wrong. P.S. I typically hold off on sex until the third or fourth date. With the last one, we didn't even sleep together, yet it still ended the same way. Any advice is appreciated. Love the show and all your wonderful guests. Well, Allison, what do we think of this situation?
I mean, I don't ever want to take the side of men, but I am like, this should not be discouraging to her, because the thing that stuck out to me was she was like, I don't even know how I feel about them. If you don't know how you feel about somebody after 4 dates, you don't like them.
Yeah.
Like, you would know if you were like, this is a person I'm obsessed with. I want to text them all the time. And like, just because someone texts you a lot, like she said, like, they're always texting, they invite me to do stuff, and it's like they're trying to figure out if they like you in the way that you are. And like, if there's no real spark after like a handful of dates and a bunch of texting, like, that's the answer.
I totally agree with you. And it has something to do with just the way we go about relationships. Like, she's got the clay in front of her, and she's like, women
date on potential.
Totally.
Like, it's like, I can make this something.
I can figure this out.
I can do this.
I can make this happen.
It's a project.
I can make this clay
Most
into
men
a
are
bowl.
projects.
Yeah.
To women.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like,
Look
there's
at this
stuff to fix. I mean,
this
is a project.
This is a
project I can't even talk about.
Federation Studios is also my apartment, and there's a lot going on here. There's a bike in the kitchen.
I would say it's crowded.
Yeah.
But like, I think that women do look at potential, and that's why she's like, I've had relationships where like it took me a minute to like be into somebody or something like that, and it's like, I don't think that that's how men approach things. And like, you should not have to like force yourself into something. Like, not that that's forced.
I think men will go, I'll work with this if it's in order of the. I'll work with this as I like it along the way.
Yeah.
And I think she's going, well, it could happen. She wrote something in her email that's important. She put it as a PS, but I think it's a very important part.
Let's hear it.
She's saying this is a side note, but this is actually the most important note to the guy. She waits until the third or fourth date to have sex. So he knows that, and she goes, the last guy, we didn't even have sex, and he broke it off before. This all makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have sex with someone that I was unsure about. She's unsure about them too.
Yes, right. That's what dating is. Being unsure if you like somebody and figuring out if you do.
And she's going, well, how did they figure out before I did? Well, they're also saying guys end things before they get more serious. Women try to get more serious and then go, we'll see what happens. Yeah.
Eventually give up.
And then give up. Try again and again.
Yes.
So this guy is saying, Okay. I'm into it. She's cool. She's cute. They're there with... I don't think she's doing anything wrong, by the way.
There is no wrongdoing. No. There's nothing to do. And also, like, if you were doing something wrong, these would all be first dates.
I totally agree. And these guys... And let's also say... And sometimes this gets mixed in with attraction, non-attraction. They're attracted to you.
Yes.
They're there because they're attracted.
No one goes to date 3 or 4 without any attraction.
No guy goes on date 1 without any attraction.
It's true. Well, you could get tricked, but then, after date 1, you leave.
You know what the deal is.
Yeah.
But I even think with some of the catfish pictures, I'm like, I knew.
You know which ones are bots.
I have an idea. But this is, to me, and I don't think you can hold out on sex is your decision. But
That's not what's affecting this.
Well, it's not affecting us, but these guys... Sex might not matter to them, but now they know it matters to you. And let's say they go through with date 4, then you have sex. You are now the asshole who knew it mattered to this person to make their decision, and you didn't need it to make your decision, and you used that to get sex.
Yes.
So
correct.
And I think guys, listen, relationships are like emotional bumper cars. You learn
totally
based off bumping off of someone else.
Yes.
So a lot of this stuff gets put into like, good versus evil.
Yes.
I think a lot of situations, when a lot of times when women are like, he had sex and he left. It's like, that was also a learning experience from the other side where they go, oh, fuck.
Okay. Yeah. This is how I feel when I have sex with, or like, that's also a learning experience for a woman.
Totally.
Or whoever is taking the sex more, not seriously, but cares more about that sex. It's like, you learn like, oh, when I have sex with somebody and I cared about it and they leave, like, now I know to be even more, I know what my bar is for sex.
So that could be one side, and that's the side she's on.
Yes.
She's going, I've learned over years.
I don't like that.
I want to have sex with someone that I'm like
totally
a little bit more into it with, and that I know is into me.
Yes.
On the other side, I would say I've had sex with people where I go, I had sex and I knew this wasn't going to be a serious relationship, and you're going, fuck, that person, it might have been a bigger deal to them, so now I stray away from that. So I think she's seeing these guys who are mature, and she's 31. I'm sure she's seeing guys that are 34, 35 that have learned from that in their 20s and go, absolutely. I'm not going to have sex with someone where it's important to them.
Right. Unless they are somebody I really like.
Totally. So that's why they're bailing.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone's doing wrong, but what they're doing is learning from past things. Mm-hmm. And again, the dramatization. Thank you, Cherry Lane. Theater. Of breakups also doesn't help this.
Correct.
Like, I mean, all you hear on TikTok is my trauma from the breakup. And that's the thing. You go, trauma is a very serious word.
Yes.
That gets mixed, and you can't...
Mixed in with, I felt bad.
Exactly.
Trauma is not, I felt bad. This person hurt my feelings. Trauma is like... diagnosable.
Totally. So, but now these words become so dramatic that and I'm not saying like, guys, in this movement of women, I'm not saying it that way. I'm just saying these guys, I'm saying when you say they're mature men, they're bailing because they're like, I'm not getting down that road. I don't want to be someone else's problem.
Right.
So this is all part of it. This is all to say you're doing nothing wrong.
Yes. And I would even say like, this shouldn't be discouraging. It should be encouraging. Mm-hmm. And also like use it to be like, all right, maybe I need like, if I'm not like way into this person 3 or 4 dates in and I'm feeling that they're pulling, like, good, I don't want to be with this person necessarily either. And there's going to be somebody where it becomes very obvious much faster when it is a good fit. And I hate to be like, dating's numbers, because I hate that. I hate when people are like, just the more you date, the closer you are to finding somebody. But like, it is unfortunately kind of true to everything. Dating is not unique to that experience.
And to Steve Harvey this a little bit, you got to date like a man a little bit. You got to go, hey, I can get wet from that date. I'm not going to just work with it.
Right. Also, you're getting a lot of cool guys that you're interested in who are mature. You know, it's not 23-year-old fuckboys and like weird sugar daddies who are like predatory. You're getting good guys. So you're going to keep meeting people like that. And eventually one of them is going to be such an obvious connection that you'll both kind of just run with it.
JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com, here with Alison Leiby. People, Cherry Lane Theater. Starting this April. It's soon. This is coming up.
It's coming up.
Holy shit. A real production, a director, a producer, a whole
I got a lighting designer. I got a music designer. Like,
people, go follow Allison. We're sponsor people. The JTrain is thrilled to welcome our new sponsor, Babbel. Wow, I love that. For most of us, learning a second language in school wasn't exactly a high point in our academic careers. I was the worst.
What did you take?
Spanish. Because, I never understood why people took other languages. But I mean, for this, Babbel, if you want to do other languages, I'm sure you can. But I'm saying,
I think they do.
To me, I was always like, this is the second biggest one.
Yeah.
Like the people that took Latin, I'm like, get over yourself.
Grow up.
Get out of here. Now, thanks to Babbel, the language learning app that sold more than 10 million subscriptions, there's an addictively fun and easy way to learn a new language. Nothing better than gamifying.
Absolutely.
This is the way of the world. Yes, treat me like a toddler. I don't know how to learn a language. Treat me in the way that it's going to make it fun and easy, and I can do it on my commute. That's what Babbel's doing. Whether you'll be traveling abroad or just have some free time, Babbel teaches bite-sized language lessons that you'll actually use in the real world. This is what I love.
Yeah.
I love when someone takes something that is, it's like fine wine. Just tell me what's delicious and let's get going.
Yes.
This is language. Some people put language in this. Oh, you must. Oh, I know 5 languages. The language of love. And it's like,
I need to get around on my vacation.
Get me to the bathroom.
Or talk to a person who speaks another language.
Yes.
Those are the things I need to do.
Let me impress a woman.
Yes. There you go. Okay.
This is so, and I just think this is such an important, fun thing. And there's nothing better than going abroad and feeling like you can get around.
Yeah.
It's
a different experience.
Knowing a language is like having a Google map, It's better. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts.
All right.
With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. You can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Plus, it comes with a 20-day money-back guarantee. Start your new language learning journey today with Babbel. Right now, you can get up to 60% off your subscription when you go to babbel.com/JTrain. That's babbel.com/JTrain for up to 60% off your subscription. Babbel, language for life. Love it. So exciting to have Babbel. I'm like,
that's great.
I think that's a great, just a great opportunity.
Yeah.
My brother,
I like when things are easy. We need easy.
Gamified. My brother's going to go abroad with his girlfriend. I sent it to him. He's getting into it. They're going to, so let's go to the next one.
Love it.
JTrain, friendship squabble. I hate her boyfriend.
Ooh,
this is a good one.
I can dig into this.
Relatively new listener here. Love listening and getting your perspective on dating. You always give me a good laugh while spewing some pretty solid advice. Well, thank you. I have an issue with my friend and her on and off again boyfriend. Would love your thoughts. That's the toughest one.
That's the toughest one.
Because you're dealing with a certain type of addict. Mm-hmm. Like, there, when you're on and off again.
Yeah.
Like, listen, I'm a late night eater. When I'm off, when I'm doing good, I'm good. When I get off, I'm back in the game. Yeah. So it's the same way. I'm like, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again. Fuck, I'm eating, Taco Bell.
Yes.
It's the same thing they're doing with.
Yeah, and also like the thing about like exes or like, when you don't like a friend's partner is like when it's on again, off again, you feel like you have the safe space to be like, yeah, he sucked. You should meet someone new. And then they get back together. And it's like you never get to really, even when they're not together, you still don't get the freedom to, not that you should like tell everybody when you don't like somebody,
sure.
But like you're never safe.
My dad always told me that. He goes, never tell someone that you didn't like their spouse.
There's a whole Seinfeld
until
episode
there's
about
like,
this.
oh, really?
Yeah.
They will.
Obviously.
They'll know. There's a Seinfeld for everything.
There
okay.
is.
My best friend of 10 plus years has been in a relationship with a seemingly immature and potentially toxic man. She writes in parentheses, child. Every time she goes out with friends, travels, spends any time with people that aren't him, he distances himself and then ends up breaking up with her. This has happened not once, not twice, but 3 times within the span of a month of them being in an exclusive relationship. They've known one another for 4 months, so it's relatively new.
4 months?
I mean...
Who is this guy? Get him out of there.
The pattern's always the same. He breaks up with her while she's out on a trip. And then when she's back home, he comes to see her and sweet talks her, and they get back together. Her proclaiming he sees how unhealthy this is and will work through this together. She's talking about him like they're a marriage of 15 years. That's a big problem, too.
That's a problem.
How do I walk the line of giving her advice, trying to steer her away from hurt in a potentially very toxic situation, but also being her friend and supporting her and being there for her when things go wrong? I struggle with not giving my direct and honest opinion because that's my nature. I'm a tough love type of gal, so this has been tough. I want to be there to support her and be her friend, but it also drives me insane to watch her continue this cycle. Please help. What do we think?
This is tough.
Very tough.
It's tough because I think there's two problems. And one is like, you cannot force someone to get out of something like this until they are ready.
Yes.
You really, even if you like, do like tough love, like, girl, he's not treating you well. He doesn't respect your time. He keeps coming, like sliding his way back in. Like, she's only going to resent you. Like, she will figure that out, but unfortunately might not be on the timeline that you're on.
Yeah. Huge part of this is her problem with dating. You know, It's not about the guy. It's about her. She's probably dating anxiously. She's like, I got a guy, just like we just talked about. I got the clay in front of me.
Right.
I can make this into a bowl.
Who knows what her history up until now has been.
Totally.
So it could be like, finally, someone who wants to stick around, which he doesn't even want to.
He's engaging with me. So I got one. I got one on the line.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. The idea that every time she goes away, he breaks up, to me, that's a cheater. Or that's that's someone that, I mean, I maybe cheater's too strong, but that is someone who is looking to be single when you're not around and in a relationship when you're around.
Which is what makes me think the good part of this is the fact that they've only been together for 4 months and this has happened multiple times. Like, this is not a long for this world relationship. This is a short runway, I think.
The friend needs to be assured that she will find a new piece of clay to create bowls with.
My advice to the friend is like, dig through your world. If there is any nice other guy that you think she would even just go out with once, just kind of bring him into the mix. Just kind of like see if they maybe
put the pie on the windowsill.
And just see if she
starts smelling that pie.
All of a sudden, a bear is like below.
Yeah.
But I think like the myopic nature of like her looking at this relationship and being like, I have to keep doing this every time he like pops back in is like, you know, if you introduce some other men into the mix, maybe.
I would say this is a big problem too. Emotional doesn't help emotional. So if you say, I hate this fucking douchebag, it ain't going to work out. She's just going to resent you for ruining her opportunity at a boyfriend. That's the problem. He is not a guy.
You don't get it.
It's not Tony.
That's like
it's a boyfriend.
Yeah.
I don't know why I gave him the name Tony. It just felt right.
He feels like a Tony.
Very Tony-ish. So I think she has to ask questions she knows the answers to. That's the best way to get someone talking. The friend.
Okay. Like what?
The person has to come to her.
Right. You can't walk into her room and be like, he's a piece of shit. Because like that just doesn't work.
Just doesn't work. You got to wait. She comes to you. You go, hey. She's like, Tony broke up with me again. How does that make you feel? I feel like shit. Just go into question mode. Why did he say you can't be judgy. It's got to be questions that aren't like, they have to not, you can't, you got to lead the witness, so to speak. It's like you're a good cop. So why, you got to good cop.
Good cop.
So if someone comes to you and goes, this boyfriend, when someone complains to you about a boyfriend or a significant other, you go, well, why do you feel this way? What happened?
Yeah.
Tell me what happened. Get them talking. Because I think when you start talking, they need to own what's wrong here.
Yes.
When they say it, if you go, he fucking leaves you, he's cheating on you, they're going to feel bad.
Yeah.
And then you say, what do you think? Why do you think he leaves you? Why do you think he breaks up every time you go away?
Yeah.
And they go, well, I don't know. Have you thought about it? Well, maybe he's doing this, maybe he's that, I don't know. And then they ask you questions. Have you had a guy do this? Anytime I've done this with a guy, it just felt like they weren't really they were afraid of a commitment with me. And that's kind of, so the more questions.
Be honest. Don't push it too far, like one direction or another, being too supportive or too negative on him. But have like open conversations about relationships as often as you can with her in ways that feel good, like friendly. And
the big important part, lean on what we talked about in the beginning. In the first email, we talked about how much time matters to women in relationships. So these months matter.
Yes.
It's been 4. So you've known them for how long? 4 months. And then they answer 4 months. You've been together a month. Yeah. You're going to find someone that's going to be better for you.
Yes.
It's only a month. And you have to like keep reiterating that like you haven't lost time. You haven't lost life.
No.
You're going to find, and you got to like, I think the one thing you can push on is you're going to find something better for you. Not a better person.
Right.
Because they're going to say they're a good person. I see the good in them.
Sure.
Of course you do. All the clay is on the table in front of you.
Right.
We can make a bowl from any clay. This ain't the clay you're going to make the bowl from.
This is about match. It's about a good match.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Wedding date woes. We've got all good subjects.
These are great. We're covering it all.
Well, listen, Shelby is going through the emails now. So
producer extraordinaire.
That's right. And a benevolent dictator. He is seeing your problems and going, that's a good one for us to do.
Yeah.
So we have really good ones.
Curated.
Jared, I love your podcast and stand up. My friends and I are patiently waiting for you to come to Toronto. I think Toronto's going to happen.
Nice.
It's going to happen.
I'd say summer.
Summer.
Not winter.
No, winter. I ain't going up. I'm not going north.
Sorry,
here.
guys.
No. My parents moved out of Boston.
For a
done
reason.
with north of here during the winter. No, Toronto's going to happen. It's in the works. So people, I know you're waiting right by the phone. I'll call you when it happens. I've told my friends about the pod, and if I knew anyone else that it was, and if I knew anyone that was earless, I would tell them too. But here's why I'm emailing. I started dating my boyfriend a couple months ago. Honestly, things are going really wonderfully, and I can tell that we both really like each other. His sister is getting married in a few weeks, and he recently asked me to come to the wedding as his date.
Huge.
Whoa, ring that bell, Shelby. We got good things in the works. However, he's in the wedding party. I felt really special when he asked me, but I need some advice on how to be a good wedding date. She must have been like, it's one of those moments where someone's like, do you want to go to the wedding with me? And you're like, in your head, you're like, guitar riff, like, we are together. He's bringing the family. This is great. Yes. We're on the road. And then he leaves the room and you go, oh my God, it's going to be a good date.
Yeah. This is it's as much as it is a relationship milestone and achievement. It is also, it's not a test, but it is like a
stressful.
It is an evaluating moment for everybody.
Totally. And can you hack it? And listen, everyone can hack it at someone's wedding. This isn't we all have the ability.
Of course.
But will it feel like a fit? And this is important. He's bringing you to this wedding. And again, it's different levels of importance for everybody.
Right.
Some people are like, yeah, come to my wedding. My family fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Some people are like, come to my sister's wedding.
Because we're going to get married.
Because this is a huge deal and I need my mom to really like it.
Your time for you to really engage with the family in a way where I can see if could we have this experience down the road?
And wanting to bring it is step one. You are writing into this podcast with step one to know that you're going to be a good date. I already know.
Yeah.
You've
already got this on lock.
I felt really special when he asked me, but I need some advice on how to be a good wedding date because not only am I a plus one of a guest, I am the plus one of someone in the wedding party and I won't know anyone else there. I've never met any of his family, so not only am I meeting his parents and his sister for the first time, I'm meeting everyone. You name it, grandpa, aunt, uncle, cousin, etc. Baby. I'm taking it as a good sign that he really likes me and wants to show me off. Well, again, also calm down on that.
Right. Don't get too ahead of yourself.
Yeah. Show you off. You're not a Rolex watch. It's just you are being brought as he
wants you to be there.
He wants you to be there.
Leave it at that.
Let's leave it at that.
That's all it is. He wants you to be there, and that's great.
And so I think putting this much pressure on it can only hurt you. But what do I do when he's busy doing the groomsman's duties? Do you have any advice for me on how to have a nice time or ways to strike up conversation without being too dependent on my boyfriend, especially since he's in the party? Thank you. What do you think? Any ideas for this person? And she's right. These are things I would want to hear about.
I would definitely want that. I think that if there's a way... Sorry, my stomach keeps growling because I'm drinking Diet Coke on an empty stomach.
You're good. We can't hear it.
You can't hear it? Okay. But if there's a way to ask your boyfriend, as the wedding plans become more concrete, oh, do you have a sense of what other people might be there? If he knows, oh, her best friend also plays volleyball. Just getting a little bit of intel on what kind of people besides his family are going to be there, because you don't want to lean into too hard of trying to ingratiate yourself with mom and dad, aunt and uncle. That's a big day for them. This is their daughter is getting married.
Totally.
You don't want to be too around. What's the vibe of the next tier of guests, of the friends?
This is the pleasure of being a guy in this situation. Because women love a story.
Yeah.
They love a drama. They love to let you in. And it's exactly what I wrote down. I wrote down, you are on the same wavelength as me. This guy's got to prep you.
Yeah.
You need the crib notes.
Yes.
And not just the family. You're not looking to get like mom likes this, dad likes this, Auntie May likes this, Uncle Rufus is a racist. Like, you don't need those things.
No.
You need, who are the couples coming that like who are your friends from home that's going to have the girlfriend that's getting brought along?
Yes.
Who's like kind of these tangential people that are going to be in a similarly uncomfortable position, maybe not the same as me. You need a prep. This has to be this is like the dinner talk, the conversation, and this should be a fun conversation.
Totally. This is like something to be getting excited about, but it's still information that you need, and like he might not know to give you this off the bat. You might need to ask.
That's the thing. That's why it's such a pleasure to be a guy in this situation.
Yeah, guys roll into a place and they're like, I also like football, and it's like, wow, you did it. You're all friends,
and we're all friends. And the girlfriend usually does this for you. I don't think a guy, a lot of times, maybe I would say we know, but we're maybe more casual about this. Like it doesn't, we don't. So you need to say to him, hey, I am so excited. Give me the lay of the land. Explain to me the dynamics.
Yeah.
And
who's fun?
Who's cool?
Friendly?
Who's the uncle that's going to be embarrassing?
Right.
What's your mom going to be like? What's your dad going to be like?
Right.
These are all questions that you get him talking in a way that he may not have done. You know, there's a podcast sponsor that I don't think they sponsored here, but they've sponsored You Up and Storybook. And what I like about it basically, Storybook sends your family member questions, and they make a book out of all the answers they give. They're questions I would never ask my dad. No. But it's interesting. A question gets a part of your brain to unlock. Yeah. Like when I do this podcast, I always say, we're not experts, but the questions come in and we go, I remember going to a wedding once where this happened and I would look out for this and that. So you need to ask, story-worth style questions. Yes. Who's the wild card at the wedding?
Yes.
Who's the one I'm going to want to be hanging with? Who's the one's going to be trying to get me new shots? This will make you feel...
Who drinks? Who doesn't drink?
Totally.
Do a lot of people work? What's the general age range?
Yes.
Like get a lay of the land, and you'll go in knowing all right, I've got a little bit of a game plan here.
Yes.
But then also, I don't know. I feel like you're very similar to me. I will stand alone in a past apps area and just strike up a conversation about what I'm eating to whoever is next to me.
So, perfect conversation, perfect way to get into it with people. But what this does, because her biggest concern, she doesn't want to be a weight. Yes. This makes you a buoy instead of a weight, because now you're having fun talking shit, talking about. So when you ask these interesting questions, okay, who's my pass around apps person? Who's going to be that person I could hang with there?
Yeah.
And it's not you going, well, when I'm alone, is there someone I can hang out with? That's a different way.
You want to make this as easy for your brother or your boyfriend and his family as possible, so that everybody's like, oh, she rules. And and he cannot feel you don't want him to walk away from this wedding being like, oh, I really wish I could have talked to these other people more, but I felt like I really had to attend to.
No. And this, I think this pregame talk can be fun, can be energized, can get him excited for you to come. All of this is good. So, and it will let you know where to move yourself towards. Oh, this cousin. Okay, there's that cousin during the ceremony. I'll float towards them.
Yes.
And everyone also is going to know the position you're in. People are way nicer to you. I went to Jordana's wedding. I was alone.
Yeah.
People came up to me out of the blue. Hey, I'm so-and-so. I heard you're here alone. The more you talk to him about it, the more he's going to talk to other people about it. This is going to be all helpful.
Yeah. That's
JTrain
great.
Podcast at gmail.com. JTrain Podcast at gmail.com. We're sponsor people. JTrain Podcast is brought to you by Manscaped. I'm such a fan of Manscaped. I love this. I mean, such a great product, such a great gift, such a great, maybe not for your dad, but a boyfriend, it's fun,
hey, Dad, clean it up down there.
They have other stuff. They got shampoos and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So you can get them into the world. It's time for spring cleaning. Better start with that winter bush. They really start off strong.
That's coming in hot.
Yeah. Save big by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code JTrain. That's a deal.
That's a good deal.
20% off, free shipping. Get your day started trimming those wayward hairs with the waterproof lawnmower 4.0. Here's what I like about Manscaped. They're always improving. They're always adding new products. They're always getting new stuff in the inventory. Yeah. Clear your holes and smell the spring air with the Weed Whacker, and also clean up with their Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. So I use all their products.
Great.
I love the shaving cream that's meant for your balls and your area. I love.
Finally, men have to buy more things to take care of themselves in the way that we have been doing our whole lives.
And you know what? It's a pleasure. Great. It's fun. It makes you feel good. You're a little bit more confident when you know downstairs is really like.
It's a treat.
It is a treat. So get 20% off plus free shipping with code JTrain at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. Use code JTrain. It's time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your life. I agree with that tagline. It is an upgrade of your life because I got the body soap, I have the shampoo, I have the conditioner, I have the after creams for your balls.
Amazing.
It just
think of how great you feel post haircut.
Oh my God.
Now that's your balls.
Now it's your balls. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com here with Alison Leiby. Gonna be doing her show. Oh God. A show about
abortion.
About abortion.
We had to remove the word "our." That was the word that was the problem.
Really?
Not abortion.
That's crazy. It's crazy when you get into these things. He's stuck in my head.
Oof. All right.
Thank you for putting my brain on the shelf twice a week. You've been a real stress reliever over the years, and I'm a huge fan. Now into my issue. I keep thinking about someone else. I'm currently in a relationship of 3 years, and I love my boyfriend to death. But sometimes I miss the excitement of dating and flirting with new people. I get that.
Yeah, for sure. That is very common, and I think most people feel that.
Totally. Lately, I've been quietly pining over a guy I work with. That changes things.
Oh.
That's a
different. That's not like I wish I could flirt.
Right.
That's a little different.
And flirting with faceless people.
Yeah.
Flirting with faceless, fine. You go out for drinks with girls, guys come up to you, they try to buy you a drink, some guy's looking at you, you're looking, but that's like, and then you go home to your boyfriend and you're like, no, that was kind of cool that someone thinks I'm hot. Yeah, whatever. When it's guy at work I see on a daily basis.
My coworker that knows me for 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Yeah.
Changes things.
Yeah. A little different.
I'm in the entertainment industry and our paths cross a lot because I help manage his project, but we don't work for the same company. That's even worse to me.
Right.
We talk a lot during the week, and he and I find excuses to bring up other random subjects to keep talking when we're done with work talk. When his artist is in the studio, he comes if he knows I'll be there, and we hang out. He's total fuckboy energy, and I never could date, and I could never ever date someone like him, but the idea of a forbidden fuck is hot. He's also 30, still super immature, and in a senior position. I think he's into me too, but he knows I have a boyfriend. I brought it up a few months ago, before he knew it was a bit flirtier.
Brought up a boyfriend.
Oh, I brought it up a few months ago that she had a boyfriend, but before he knew it was a bit flirtier. Okay, he backed off a little bit.
That's good.
I've had these feelings before other times, but they usually fade away after a week or so. I've had back-to-back dreams where this guy is in them, and I regularly fantasize about him asking me out for coffee. I love my boyfriend and not trying to break up with him, but I sometimes wish I was single so I could give in to my desires. Though reality is usually never as good as what's in your head, I'm planning on leaving my job soon, so our constant communication will naturally stop. Is this considered emotionally cheating? Why am I doing this?
I don't think it's emotionally cheating. Like, it is not emotionally cheating to carry on a friendship, even if it's flirty, with someone else. I think you are absolutely allowed to like talk about things that aren't work with this man and not feel like you shouldn't feel guilt that you're cheating. You've told him you have a boyfriend. Like totally. You've kind of done everything you can do.
Yes.
Keep this man in your spank bank.
Yeah.
Like this is your masturbation fodder. I feel like women watch a lot less porn than men. I feel like we really rely a lot on like previous experiences or like fantasies about people that we've met, know, or encounter. What a wonderful thing. Like you have had dreams about this guy. You've got somebody like ready to go every time you want to masturbate. That's where he lives. That's where he stays.
Yeah. I I guess the fuckboy stuff, like she's like, it's totally someone I know wouldn't be good for me. I know it wouldn't be, I wouldn't feel good after it. I don't think this is going to be a relationship. Because of that, I guess that's where it changes for me, where it's like person at work where you go, wow, we're really getting to each other. This is the relationship I don't have. Right. That's not what you're saying. No. You're saying this is the fuckboy
I see this guy a lot, and
yeah, I don't know what she should do. I don't like the idea of like, I'm leaving work soon, so it'll be over then. No, it won't be over then. You said you fantasize about being single. This is something, I think, like, it's interesting that she's being so hard on herself.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you've been together with this other guy for 3 years, right?
It's not like your relationship.
It's not like you're like 6 months in, you're like, I'm already fantasizing about fucking strangers.
Totally.
It's like, 3 years is a long time to be with one person. Like, that is not sexually satisfying in our minds, I think, for most people. Like, not that you want to act on it, but like, of course you're going to start thinking about other people as you see them. And especially like a very charming fuckboy. Like, I get it.
Here's the other thing I would say to her as a point of just something to notice. You're getting off to this story.
Yeah.
So let's just at a baseline. You're getting off to a story. Mm-hmm. That's fun. That's cute. That's hot.
Love it.
Wow. Now you've realized something you're into. Okay. Maybe let's tell our boyfriend about this and create a story night. I
was going to say, this feels great for a fun thing you can somehow bring into the bedroom without being like specific of like, Roger. Like,
I was thinking of fucking this guy at work.
He has this hat. If you wouldn't mind just wearing this. And a vest? Yeah, I know.
But maybe you walk him along to say like, hey, let's do story sex.
Yeah.
You're my friend at work and we've crossed paths or something like that.
Or a stranger or like whatever it is that's kind of like triggering this other desire in you. Like,
that's the thing. It's like sometimes it's nice to know that you have this desire. Like, oh shit, I'm into the story that leads up to the forbidden fuck.
Yes.
Okay. Now, you and your boyfriend should have a forbidden fuck night.
Yes.
Let's plan that out.
That's great.
I'm talking out of my ass right now. I don't know what that means, but I think like this now take what I'm saying and like, let's put it into action. Like, I don't know how you guys do this. I don't know if you dress a different way. Maybe he gets a haircut, you get a haircut. You meet later that night. I don't know.
Everybody's getting haircuts. Well, what's the budget on this production?
We can put some money into this. You put a night on the calendar. Yeah, like we're gonna dress a little different.
Yeah.
We're gonna get a little dressed up.
Or like show up separately to the bar that you guys want to get a drink at.
Totally.
That's fun.
And maybe there's a little. It's knowing that this is something. I know all
that is turning you on.
Yeah, the pieces of this turn me on. Now, how do I include the person that I love?
Yes,
I think that's something to do.
Yeah,
and also like don't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah,
you're not fucking this guy. And of course,
you haven't done anything, at least in this email, that seems like outside of the bounds of what you can and should be doing. Like, yeah, I guess you're thinking about him a lot, but like you can't control that. Like, the one thing you can do is like not act on things that will ruin your good relationship that you have, and as long as you're not doing that, it's okay.
And she says, why am I doing this? For the same reason any of us have fantasies.
Yeah.
You're just a human being.
Yeah.
JTrainPodcast@gmail.com, JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Where are we, Shelby, as far as time is concerned? One more. Let's do one more email. You ready? And we have a fun one.
I'm excited.
Okay. This one, I'm like... This got sent in. I had to email the listener to be like, "Are we cool to use this?"
Wow.
And they wrote
that
back,
really
like,
says,
"Listen,
this is something special.
This is something special. This is called Dating Update posted on my public Snapchat story. Jared, I'm in desperate need of advice. I have a private Snapchat story that has a handful of girlfriends as viewers to update them on my dating life. The content, if I do say so myself, is straight gold. And I'm in such a habit of posting my fits for dates, what the plan is, and recap after the date. So this makes sense. She has
this is a group text that lives on Snapchat, so it's a little more multimedia.
Totally. And she's basically updating them. Again, the single one is always the most interesting. Maybe it's your friends in relationships. Again, we just went over an email. That person's life is a living disaster every day. No. She's living a sexless life.
Yes.
She's got to go try and fuck a guy at work in her dreams. Okay. No, but you're going on Snapchat and you're going, hey, gang, here's what's going on tonight. Here's the players. Here's the fit. Here's what happened. Yeah, I get that. That's fun. That. So she writes, anywho, last night before a date, I posted a minute-long story thinking nothing of it. I gave outfit details, said it was my third date with quote-unquote outdoorsy boy, and said where we were having dinner and made a joke that I'm just out here trying to find a husband. All normal things.
Absolutely.
The nickname's normal.
Yeah.
Women give a nickname that like strikes you to your core.
Always.
So then it's always like the most direct, like, outdoorsy guy. Even if you didn't know it, it's like, oh, fuck, I'm outdoorsy guy. And then it'll be, and then where they're going, and I'm trying to find a husband. We get it.
Yeah.
The date went really well, and we ended up having a great texting convo after the date and set up another one for this weekend. Fast forward to this morning. I looked to see what friends viewed the story, and I had a heart attack. I posted it on my public story. Ooh. I saw that 20 people viewed it, including Outdoorsy Boy. I immediately deleted it. He was at the top of the viewers, so I knew he viewed it this morning. I went along my day still texting him like normal. Neither of us brought it up. Neither of us brought up the horrifying Snapchat. Jared, what do I do? Help, help, help. I've attached the video so you can have a laugh. It's pretty funny, but I'm still mortified. So let's watch the video.
Okay.
Okay, team. Sorry for all of those. I'm currently Snapchatting, figuring out an outfit. This is the final fit. This is what we're going with. We have skinny jeans. Tory Burch, shout out to Max. This is it. This is date number 3 with Outdoorsy Boy. We are going to shabu place. I don't know. It's like where you have like really thin slices of meat and like you cook it. So it'll be like cutesy, interactive. This is a reschedule from Monday when I got too buzzed and too flirty. So we're honestly shocked. He's even seeing me at this point. We'll see. But yeah, we will give you guys an update later. Check out these new earrings though, Amazon. How cute. Okay, thank you for all of your suggestions. Thank you for all of your help. Like, I really do appreciate you guys. Hopefully we find a husband here.
Love it.
I love it. I love it. It's like the best unboxing video I've ever seen.
Right?
It's like all kinds of personality. It's great.
I mean, it's great.
She looks great.
She looks fantastic. I mean, everyone knows this is a white woman just based on how she described Korean barbecue.
Yes. You know, thin slices of meat that you cook because it's interactive.
Put the meat on the fire in the middle of the table. I don't know.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's just
not her.
The way it was described.
I was like waiting. I was like, wow, every word of this is taking me on a journey of like what this dinner is. And then eventually it's Korean barbecue.
Yeah, I was like, we thinly slice, a real slow drip of information.
I was like, charcuterie board? No? Okay. Just kind of like a real choose your own adventure of culinary arts.
What I couldn't believe is we're all influencers now. I mean,
we are.
She literally, the lift of the foot to show, that's shoes. Like a new thing where you're seeing, it's a very Gen Z thing.
Very
show the
Gen
shoe,
Z.
You do the little lift. I think it's hot. It always looks hot to me.
We're in old man boat shoes.
Yeah, you got both. These
they're Sperry. This is my 9th pair in the last 20 years.
Never tied them. So I, when she did the Tory Burch, it's Amazon, and it's like, it is so interesting. She's doing this for her friends because it's like her friend group, but it's like,
right, she's not trying to like get sponsored by Tory Burch. She's just like telling everybody where she bought it, which is how women do things.
So interesting.
I just like, I can't. I was on a call earlier wearing the sweatshirt, and like the person I was on the call was like, I love that sweatshirt. I was like, oh, it's from Instagram. Let me just send you the look. It's just like a whole. My friend bought it for me.
You
like,
just want to help someone achieve.
Women are
the
consumers.
Thing that you
We're
love.
consumers.
Yeah, it was such a beautiful look.
I love it. She looked great.
It looked great, but also a beautiful look inside the mind of a group chat. And the way she's talking about the date, I got a little too drunk last time. She's being hard on herself. I can't even believe he's going out with me. Hopefully I find a husband. We're going to put some thinly sliced beef on there. Maybe he'll touch my thinly sliced beef. I had to make the choice.
I know, you can't not.
I can't not. But you watch this and I to me, it's all good fun. Outdoorsy boy. Yeah, I understand feeling embarrassed because you're like, it's almost like being, if someone sees the video from your group chat, it's like, oh my God, you're seeing the most real version of me.
Yes. There was, back when I was writing on a TV show a while ago, we would write in this software called Scripto. And whenever we were, it's just kind of like a blank document. And me and another writer were kind of like, it was a very complicated piece. So we had a whole bunch of stuff we had cut and a whole bunch of like stabs at it that weren't working. And when we sent in the final doc, we forgot that all of those things that didn't work that we had cut were still at the bottom.
Oh, no.
And like, our EP emailed back. He was like, all of your notes are still at the bottom of this. Just like a heads up. Like he wasn't mad or anything, but it felt like, oh God, now you know how I write. Like, all of the bad ideas that came out before the good one. Like, it was very, like, obviously it's not a problem. It just, like, it feels very, it's like undressing in front of somebody.
Well, that's what she's doing. She's
getting dressed undressing, mentally.
Totally, and giving the notes.
Yes.
These are all the notes I took while putting together the finished product that you get to see on this Shabu date.
Yes.
And it is so, it's actually, like, sweet. Like, I never thought for a second, and if I'm trying to think from his perspective, it's sweet.
There is nothing in that is worrisome to me.
Here's what it...
Aside from, like, the general overall, as we just said, like, you're seeing how the sausage gets made a little bit. It's a little peek behind the curtain that you wouldn't necessarily show him until probably later or never.
Well, this is the thing. No relationship would end because of this.
No.
No relationship is a guy going, oh, I had to dump this bitch. She was too excited for our date. That's what he would basically be saying.
Right.
But a relationship does end because someone's not that into it and realizing someone's more into it than them, and they don't want to be leading someone along.
Yes.
To get to the point of where, then you end up getting physical, then you end up having sex, and
you already know.
And you already know that, like, to me, this is a reveal that you're enjoying your time with him.
Yes.
And that should be excited to him if he's enjoying his time with you.
Yes.
For the right reasons.
Yes. If he's into what you two have going on, this is nothing but a kind of endearing little, like, like thing you should absolutely be able to, like, mention to him and laugh about.
If anything, it makes the relationship move along faster.
I think so, too.
Both directions.
Yes.
It either ends it or it gets it. Hey, I see where you are. You've kind of inadvertently had the where are we conversation.
Yeah.
Before, not to say you wanted a boyfriend or this is a boyfriend.
Yeah, not what are we.
No.
But like, how are we feeling about each other? Because I'm definitely texting my friends videos of what earrings I've chosen for tonight because I thought about it a lot.
And you're a fun outdoorsy boy, and I'm a little get too drunk girl.
You're not like curves to the left guy. It's there. There's a lot of like nothing. Again, like nothing in that video is like a red flag of like, oh God, like I would not want someone to see me talk about someone else like that. It's all good.
What does she say to him? I think she's got to acknowledge.
You have to acknowledge it. It's weird if you don't. Now we might be like past
We're
the
too
statute
late,
of limitations. But
this
like,
is for anyone else that
if this ever happens again, I hope she seems like the kind of person who probably brought it up.
She had to have.
She had to have.
I think she's got, and I would love an update. She's got to send us an update.
Yes.
What I would say to her, you got to send a fun text. Hey, so I think you saw my influencer video that I've been putting out there. Like, I think you saw my audition for TikTok. Yeah. Something to acknowledge, and I'm very embarrassed. You are outdoorsy. Hey, acknowledge the nickname. You're outdoorsy boy.
Yeah.
I've never been out with someone who has so many carabiners. I don't know. Whatever it is.
Some little like nod to who he is and bring him into it and make sure that he doesn't feel like he's just some prop in your life.
Totally. That is a big point. You don't want to be like, I don't want to be a joke of your group chat, but I want to be.
Where did outdoorsy boy come from? What's like the funnest, best description of that?
Yes.
That's what you need to give him.
Yes.
If it's like he only eats granola and he doesn't wear shoes, like be like, he really loves animals. Like whatever it is, tell him that. But like also like make a joke. Be like, anyway, did you like the earrings? Like, just kind of make fun of yourself.
So did you check out the earrings on Amazon?
Like it, you know it.
So I think that's great. And again, speed is all this affected.
Yes.
This will get more serious or less serious quicker than you ever thought before.
Yeah. It could be, I mean, this could be like the best thing that ever happened to your relationship. We don't know.
Listen, maybe everyone needs to do this. Before you have sex, just like, I'm going out, I'm having a good time.
Yeah. Post your influencer video that you usually share with only your friends.
And send it to them by accident. And then they'll go, hey, we can't go out. Or, hey, I'm like pumped to go out.
You look great. Let's do this.
Let's fucking go. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. Allison Leiby, thank you for coming on. Our first episode from Feather Nation Studios.
Honored to be the first one.
It is an honor to have you. I knew you would live up to the occasion, show up, and you did a great job.
To
if you would get here on time, that was really most of what it was. No, I knew you'd be an amazing guest, and you absolutely lived up to that. And people, Get subscribed on YouTube. Full episodes are out now. We're going to be putting out a lot more clips, a lot more content as not to be annoying, but it's going to be clips from each episode that are going to be fun and have they're going to be punchy because we got classic Shelby here. Sitting here, taking notes, getting ready to do post-production. That's right. So keep spreading the word. Keep telling your friends. JTrainPodcast@gmail.com. We'll be back on Thursday with the Luxury Lounge. Boom.